Welcome friends to Cyberscripters. In this session, we would understand Python's if statement. So what are if else statements? So basically these are the one of the most used flow control statements used in Python. So the if statement is the most simple decision making statement. So it's a decision making statement. So when you encounter an if, there is a condition, and depending on the output of the condition, whether it is true or false, the following code block will be executed. So for example, I have put a one if condition here. So let's say this condition one is true. If condition one is true, then this block would get executed. Rest of the two blocks won't be executed. So if you have written this kind of if conditions, then out of these three, only one code block would be executed. Let's say condition one is not true and condition 2 is true. In that case, the condition 2 block would get executed. And if both the conditions are false, then in that case this else part would be executed. So this is just to make you understand how a if statement is written. We look it in detail when we go to our PyCharm. So let's quickly go to PyCharm and let's look at that. So let's create a file first, new Python file, and I will name it as if statement. Okay, so now let's take a variable age is equal to 25. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a small program which, depending on the age and income, would put an individual into a specific income bracket. Okay, so let's say the age is 25 and income is 50,000. Now let's start with the if statement. So I say if age is less than 18, then print you are minor. That's it. Let's go ahead and execute this and see what happens. So see, nothing has happened. Why? The reason is the condition says if age is less than 18, but in our case age is 25. So it is not less than 18, so this block would not get executed. Other thing that you need to remember is that all these statements that need to be part of this if will have to be indented. So you see this particular print statement is right indented. So whatever statements you write here in this fashion, they would all be part of a block and would get executed. But if I have a statement something like this, then this is not part of the block and this would get executed irrespective of the condition status. So let's say if I run this again, even if this condition is true or false, this would always get executed. This if condition has only control on the block under it. So to make this program more interactive, let's not assign it statically, let's take it from the user. Okay, so what I am doing basically here is this input function, what it does is it prompts the user for an input. So now when I would be executing this program, you will see this string, enter your age, and whatever the number that we would give as input that would be assigned to age. Similarly for income. So now if I run this program, it is asking for age. Let's say I'm giving age is 10 years, income is 10,000. So now age is less than 18 because I have given age as 10. So it prints you are minor. Now this statement is not part of if anyway, so it would always get executed. Now let's see other conditions. Now let's say what if the individual is not minor? So if the individual is not minor, this won't be true. And in that case, we would be writing an else if. So now what I am saying is, if this is not satisfied, then I want to get into this. Else if age is greater than 18 and age is less than 65, what do we say? He is an adult. So now let's check it. So now if I put my age as 40, see now what we are getting is you are an adult. So what happened was because we gave age as 40, this condition was not true, but this was true. Now what if somebody is greater than 65? Let's try to run this program again with age, let's say 75. Nothing. So none of this code block is getting executed. But if you have a requirement that irrespective of the condition, some code block must be executed, then you need to add an else clause. So else print you are a senior citizen. See, because now the individual is not less than 18, he is not between 18 and 65, so obviously must be greater than 65. And in that case, he should be a senior citizen. So if I say 70, so I'm getting you are a senior citizen. And you can have multiple else if statements. So for example, what I can say is if user is 18 to 35, and see age is greater than 35 and age is less than or equal to 65. So you can have multiple else if statement as many as you like depending on your requirement. So now if I execute this and oh, I have a space between and if I give like 20 years of age, then what I'm getting is you're an adult with age below 35. So this condition is getting true and this is being executed. So out of these one, two, three, and four blocks, only one would get executed. Now let's see nested if statement. So you can have if statement within if statement. So let's say now Here I have checked the age. Now I want to check the income. So what I can say is, see, for minors less than 18, most probably there won't be any income. So we are not going to check anything there. But if it is between 18 and 35, and if income is less than 5,000, what we are saying is printing, you have low income. Else, print, you have high income. So now what is happening is, if this condition gets true, then the execution would enter into this block and it would check this condition. If this condition is true, then this would be printed. Otherwise, this would be printed. So let's now just go and check. So I am giving age as 25 so that enters into this block and income is, let's say, 25,000. So now what you are seeing is you are an adult with age below 35. So first is printed this, then it checked this condition because our income was 25,000. It was way above 5,000. So this was false and it printed this. So this is how you can have if within an if statement, and this is called as nested if statement. Let us write one more. So you can have nested if within else if, or even in else. In else condition, you can have if, let's say, income is less than 30,000 or income and greater than 2 lakhs, and print your income is either very low or very high. Else, print. So now, see if let's say the individual is a senior citizen. So this block won't get executed. This block also won't execute, and this block won't execute as well. So it would enter into else, and it would print you are a senior citizen. Now, depending on the income, you will see either of these statements. So let's say I'm saying 75 years of age and 3 lakhs of income. So because our income was greater than 2 lakhs, this was true because this has an or condition. See, here it was and condition. So if you have an and condition, then both the conditions should be true. Only then it would enter this block. But if you have or condition, if either of the condition gets satisfied, the block would get executed. So see, income was not less than 30,000. So this was false, but this was true because our income was greater than 2 lakhs. So this block got executed and we see this output. And finally, since this statement is completely outside a block, it will always get printed. So you see this indentation, right? So whatever is indented under this if would get executed when this particular condition is satisfied. So this is the understanding of if statement. So this is how you write your if, else, nested ifs. And this if statements are the most used control statement in Python. So it would be very difficult for you to write any program of decent size without making a use of if statements. So just go ahead and practice it and try to master this.